Well, there is your England team. Exactly as was leaked yesterday. Exactly the same. Man for man, the whole 23. Now, there was a couple of WhatsApp groups I'm in that are debating whether or not it was a deliberate leak by the England team. Maybe because of the nature of the changes, Farrell at 10, Smith at 15, were they trying to soft launch the team, just get people used to the idea, to maybe manage any criticism or reaction? I don't know if that's the case. Either that, or there are some very loose lips within the England camp which need to get sorted, because loose lips sink ships. It doesn't happen with Ireland. I mean, it did used to happen with South Africa, and that's why they ended up doing the team announcements early in the week. Anyway, that's a discussion for another day. Let's actually talk about the team now it is 100% confirmed. By the way, I am currently at the place. I was sat a couple of rows behind, actually, when England beat Argentina here, and I'll just turn the camera around, bear with me. I am... there you go. The Stade Velodrome in Marseille. I'm just trying out a new little setup, mobile setup, so do bear with me. Look at some of those angry clouds above the Stade Velodrome. It's been warm, but like humid and just waiting for a big thunderstorm on the Côte d'Azur. But this, I tell you what, this place, it's still 2 hours to kick off France against Namibia. The whole of the city of Marseille is absolutely bouncing today. There are French shirts everywhere. I think this is going to be... I'll try and capture as much of the atmosphere as I can. I'm going to try and talk to fans after the game. I'm not sure how it will go, because my French is pretty poor. But there we go. Anyway, back to me for a second, because I want to talk about this England team. Yeah, exactly as announced. Distributors absolutely everywhere in that back line, isn't there? You've got Marcus Smith, you've got Elliot Daly in the centres, you've got Owen Farrell, you've got Max Malins, who's played plenty of fly half, 12, 15 himself. Hopefully, will all those distributors just mean Henry Arundel actually gets the ball, or will it just mean there's lots more people who can do loads of kicking? We're going to find out. I'd like to think the former is true and that we will actually see Henry Arundel with his hands on the ball, because if we don't see Henry Arundel doing Henry Arundel things in this match, we might never see him do it in an England shirt for some time yet, because remember, he's going to France next season, and as it currently stands, that means he will not be eligible to play for England. So that is definitely one to watch. George Ford on the bench is interesting. I think he'll come on and play 10-12 with Owen Farrell. What happens then with Marcus Smith as a fullback? That'll be interesting. Does he then maybe switch Elliot Daly to fullback, and then you'll have two combinations that are tried and tested. Owen Farrell playing with Elliot Daly in the backfield, that works so well for Saracens. And Owen Farrell and George Ford, they love each other, they understand each other, and they've been mates since they were kids, and that we have seen them before get on the same page in an attacking sense and do some really good things. So I think that would be the smart move. When George Ford comes on, just try it. I'm not saying this is how we're going to be for Samoa or the quarterfinals, but let's just do it and have Daly in the backfield. I mean, I'm up with going full on with the Smith experiment and seeing what he can do at 15. I think one of the important questions to ask is, who is in this 23, or in the 15, let's say, who is in this starting 15 that could realistically get a starting shirt if it was a quarter-final? So when we were here in Marseille to watch that excellent England performance against Argentina, and then actually a solid win, whilst it wasn't very pretty and certainly wasn't very ambitious, against Japan, which players in this 15 realistically are, when they play against Chile, are actually playing for a starting shirt? Because if you go through the teams, I see it a bit like this. Bevan Rod, no way. No matter how well he plays, Genja Marler are the two loose-head props. Same with Theo Dan. Jamie George is starting. I think Kyle Sinclair is one, potentially possible that he could get a starting job in a Samoa and a quarter-final. The two second rows, Ribbons and Martin, I see that job, that's Itoje and Chesham's job. And in the back row, so Earl has to start, doesn't he? Laws has to start. And I think Tom Curry, when he's available again, which he will be after for the next game, I think he will come back in. So there's an outside chance that Ludlam or Willis could oust Tom Curry. I just don't see it happening. I think a lot of people were expecting Jack Willis to have played more, so there'll be high expectations for his performance, and I think he'll go out there thinking he's got a point to prove. At 9, Danny Kerr. I don't see them straying from Mitchell at this point. And I suppose there is a potential of a bench spot for Danny Kerr. Outside chance. Owen Farrell, he's the captain of the team. Steve Borthwick loves him. He has to be in contention for a shirt of some description. It may well be a bench shirt. It may well be the 12 shirt. It may be the 10 shirt. He's going to be in contention. And I think Ollie Lawrence is one of the people that we should be looking at in terms of starting potential as well. Because Manu Tuolangi, I don't know, did he do enough against Japan to sort of say that shirt's absolutely his? I'm not sure he did. So I think Ollie Lawrence can potentially win that jersey off of Manu Tuolangi. Elliot Daly, I'm quite excited about seeing him 13. It's where he played a lot of his early rugby in his career. I think Joe Marchant has probably done enough to be ahead of Daly, regardless of what happens here. And this is the thing. If a player has an absolute sterling match, then there's always the little caveat someone's going to come up with. Well, it was only Chile, wasn't it? It wasn't Argentina. So that may hold these guys back. And I think Ollie Lawrence, yes. Owen Farrell, yes. And I think there's a wing spot potentially up for grabs. So Max Malins and Henry Arundel, they have got an opportunity to get a starting job against Samoa and then into the quarterfinals and the knockout games. I think both players have been brilliant for England in the past. I think everybody sees the high ceiling in Henry Arundel's game and is quite excited about what he might be able to do. I think sometimes we do skew the way we assess young players because you're judging them not just on what they can do now, but what they might be able to do in the future if their level of improvement keeps on going. And I think coaches at international level are wise to that, and they will not just pick on the excitement and the potential of a player. So that said, I think there is a starting job on the wing up for grabs. Marcus Smith, it's most likely he's playing for a bench spot, which I think he's probably, well, I don't know, it depends. If Owen Farrell's on the bench, then I don't think Marcus Smith will be. But I think he's playing for a bench spot. So where have I left that? So the players that could go from starting against Chile to starting against Samoa or in a quarter-final are Owen Farrell, Ollie Lawrence, and one of the wingers. And I think that's pretty much it. I think the rest of it is rotation, getting minutes in people's legs and people being ready if there's an injury, which I'm sure there will be over the next 2 games. There will be players that drop out. I quite like that England are looking at this a little bit differently. I think it's a bit of a free hit. There's nothing to lose. They've already got one foot in the quarterfinals. Arguably, they're already in the quarterfinals. It's just finishing the job. And I went into the Japan game thinking, all right, we did well against Argentina. Now let's see a little bit more. Didn't really see it. Last 20 minutes, there was something there. I've rewatched that, and it was more promising. And I think that might be the way England play in a knockout game. Tight, keep it really tight, and then have a plan B and flip the switch. And that will involve guys like Marcus Smith. And I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't love watching England play, but I get that their job is to win rugby matches. And so far, so good. Tell you what, I'll round this off by, I'll just turn around onto the other camera, bear with me. There. This is some stadium, actually. It really is. So England are going to be back here in a quarter-final against Wales, Australia or Fiji. And I'll tell you, that is going to be some occasion. And these players on the screen are playing to keep the wagons rolling, keep England's momentum going, and to earn a chance to run out on that pitch in 3 weeks' time. So it's only Chile, but there's a lot in this game. So that's my thoughts on the England team. Tell me what you think, and I will see you on the next video. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe, give the video the thumbs up, and leave your comments.